I understand that from a personal standpoint, you were
Mhm.
actually a participant in this program. Is
I
that
did.
correct?
I did. I
Okay.
actually joined legal outreach at the eighth grade,
Okay.
and it completely transformed my life. I come from a family that was not of means. My dad was a waiter. My mom was a health aide. So they, as much as they stress education, they really had no idea about how to propel me forward and what it would take for me to get to a competitive college. One of the aspects that I did not mention about legal outreach, which is really important, is that we have a summer law internship program after the ninth grade. And basically, our students go into some of the top law firms in New York City and work directly with partners and associates doing very substantive work. And so I had that opportunity as an eighth grader. And I remember going into a law firm, and about the third day there, a partner calls me into his office and says, I'm on a conference call, come join me. So I sit there with him, and just to date myself a little bit, there was no email at that time. So they were doing a contract markup, and they were faxing it back and forth. And this went on for a very long time. Partner doesn't address me at all. And then at some point, he takes an agreement and says, opposing counsel wants to insert this provision. What do you think? Now, I'm 13 years old, so I start panicking and shaking. And to this day, I have no idea what I said. But that partner dialed the number to the opposing counsel and said in words more articulate than my own, my message. And that was incredibly empowering and inspiring. And from that day on, I said, I want to become a lawyer. I want to be at a place like this. I want to be at a law firm like this. And it was that experience that led me to work as hard as I could in high school. It inspired me. I did so. Through legal outreach, I was able to increase my SAT score about 250 points, which made me competitive at the nation's top colleges. The writing program helped me develop the types of skills that colleges were looking for. I ended up at Harvard and then at
Wow.
Columbia Law School. Worked as a corporate associate at a major law firm for 6 years, and then decided to come back and do this full time to really to provide opportunities that I had to other students very much like myself from communities like my own.
So truly an amazing journey. That
Thank you.
is an just an awe-inspiring story, and I think that it's definitely one that probably can resonate around the room. So no further ado, I'm going to take the focus off of directors.
Please do.
And I'm going to get right to the meat and potatoes of this program, which is to really hear from our kids about their experience at Legal Outreach. Randy,
Yes.
are you a senior?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And Shwana also?
Yes, I'm a senior.
Okay, so everybody is also
Yeah.
just okay, great. So then I think the thing that I really want to ask you is, what do you feel was the most important aspect of legal outreach? What do you think really, when you walk away from here and you go on to experience the rest of your life, what are going to be some things, noteworthy things that you feel that you learned here that you'll be able to take with you into your life's experience?
I think one of the biggest benefits from the program to me was the Saturday writing class program.
Okay.
I started off high school not really knowing how to write that well, and I was actually looking back on some of my middle school work and just seeing like I had no idea what grammar is. I don't know how to use complex vocabulary. And now 4 years later, I've done the grammar class, I've done vocabulary, I've done my senior research paper. I'm doing all of these things, and I actually discovered my love for writing through the Saturday writing class program. So I think like looking back on it, I definitely say that the writing class program was one of my favorites.
Okay. And Shawana?
Similar to Randy, I feel that the Saturday writing class was the most beneficial part of legal outreach because, like Mrs. Santana said, it was a systematic method that they came up with for legal outreach. So I felt that from the Saturday writing class, it was connected to constitutional law debate, which was like connected to the senior research paper because everything we learned from Saturday writing class actually helped us to write better arguments for constitutional law debate and helped us to write better 10-page senior research papers. So I feel like that was one of the best things that I got from this program.
Okay. And Jessica?
I think I will take away that legal outreach, the community, is everyone's supportive of each other. And so I found a group of friends who wanted to be successful. So they did their work and they wanted to be successful just like I did. So I was around people who we all uplifted each other. So since we were supportive of each other, we all wanted to be successful and do the best that we could. So I think that's what I'll take away.
Okay. I think that that's wonderful, and that is a great thing to take away. And just to emphasize, like you said, that everyone was very supportive and helpful here. I was discussing briefly with Mr. Santana before that I think that Legal Outreach has an outstanding mission statement and motto, which I think you guys had to memorize when you first came into the school. So, into the program, rather. So I'm not going to hold you accountable to say, hey, do you remember that? And can you, recite that for me? But are there some key points of that motto that you can take away with you and that you maybe can express to us on the program here today? That anything that you can really remember that, was really impressive, or shall I say really stuck with you or resonated with you from your personal experience being here? Don't everybody jump in at the same time.
This could be elements from the pledge.
I don't know if I'm quoting it right from the pledge, but there's something that talks about short-term pain leads to long-term gain. And I felt ever since I heard the pledge, that was like the only line that ever stuck out to me, even though I memorized it my 8th grade year. But I feel that that really is a true line in the pledge, because throughout this entire program, we have had a lot of short-term pain. Every grade, every program, everyone has struggled. Like personally, I struggled in the Saturday writing class, especially the vocabulary section, because I failed practically every test I ever took, but I passed about 5 of them. And I felt like that was one of the weakest parts of me being in this program, is that I didn't take that class so seriously. And I saw the benefits of taking it seriously now my senior year. And eventually, the pain that I went through from my freshman year, it actually became like a long-term gain for me, because my junior year, I was able to write one of the best essays I feel that I've written. Okay. And it was on an issue about cyberbullying, and I actually won the best junior essay for my class that year. And I definitely feel like that quote was definitely really beneficial to me.
Okay, that's wonderful. Really nice to hear. How about you, Randy?
I think for me, the line that stood out most was, I would listen to my legal outreach elders, because with age comes wisdom. And I've really just been working with the staff, not only during the programs, like during writing class, something like that, but also during my free time, I would ask if they need any help with something. And I guess they've kind of taken me under their wings in a sense, because I've learned a lot from them, not just related to the programs, but also about life experiences and life lessons. So different things like talking about ways to prepare myself when I go to college, ways to make sure that I stay grounded and stay humble and remember who I am, and not just get caught up in the fact that I'm going to a great college. Okay. So I think, listening.
Yeah, I think that those are some really, really good and poignant points that everybody can just attribute to their own lifestyle. So the fact that you are learning that at such a young age is extremely impressive and truly a blessing. How about you, Jessica? What do you think you're going to take away from here?
From the pledge, I would take away the line that says no excuses, because I'm the type of person that can make an excuse for everything. I can get over anything. But in legal outreach, I could not. Everything was no excuses. You know what you have to do. So I was held accountable for everything that I did.
Okay. Being held accountable. So, like I said, again, those are just definitive life skills that a majority of adults don't even learn, just to let you know. We have a society and an environment now that's very indicative of us being lacking in those areas. Responsibility and accountability. So those are lifelong lessons that you're going to take with you through your incredible journeys